Welcome to Hurricane Financial's Independent Agent Training Channel. The content and opinions expressed are solely that of the speaker. The training information and education contained is not intended for public use and is intended to provide supplemental information and education for independent agents only. Duplication in any form, which includes screenshots, audio, or video copying, is strictly prohibited without express written consent of Hurricane Financial Corporation. And now, your host.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome to Phase 1, Module 2, the Hurricane Financial Independent Agent Training. Today we're going to talk about the step-by-step process and how you can build your own agency using a plan that has been developed and used to perfection for winning agencies all across the country for years. Step 1 is creating a game plan. So the goal of an agent when you are working alongside Hurricane Financial is that you're building your own agency. So you are also partaking in a mentor program with Hurricane Financial. So what ends up happening in this situation is that you're looking at targets. So you go out and you're targeting people that are going to be good fits for what we do. And we will take time on the one-on-one consultations and to talk with you a little bit more about the preferred offerings and infinite banking and some of the unique pieces that we offer that allow us to offer uncommon advice and uncommon thoughts and processes to people that they're just not going to see in the industry. We are a very unique company from that standpoint. Your job is very, very simple in the beginning. You're building your agency, but you're working as almost like a co-broker situation, but you're a co-agent situation or a co-professional where you're working with a mentor who will be more or less your business partner for the first handful of cases that you do. And so the commission splits are a 50-50 commission split between you and your trainer, but your trainer is going to do most of the heavy lifting. Your job is simple. You're going to be scheduling open-minded prospects based upon what we offer, the uniqueness of infinite banking and guaranteed preferred income accounts, and you're going to find people that fit that. We'll show you some ways that you can find that. I mean, there are a lot of ways that we will open the door. We're not just going to turn you loose and say, here, good luck, go find someone. We'll show you some ways to do that. But your job is to find those people and have a conversation, not a presentation. We talk with agents all the time. The biggest mistake that agents make in this industry is that they'll walk into a meeting in a coffee shop with somebody and they're excited to meet with this person, and they come in with their laptop and they start opening up their laptop or their Padfolio or whatever and pulling out paperwork. You do not want to have a presentation. That first meeting is just about building rapport. It's about smiling, getting to know the person, and just be comfortable. You want to listen intently. You need to be genuine and listen for the opportunity. So what does that mean to listen for the opportunity? Listen for the opportunity means really one thing. To me, it simply means you're listening for the open door. You're listening for that client who may stress somehow in that conversation that, I'm getting close to retirement and I've been starting to think a little bit about, am I going to have enough money? I'm worried about it. You know what that is? That's an open door. That's a doorway for me to walk through and say, have you ever heard about a guaranteed preferred income account? Well, I might have the person that says, I just wish there was a way that I could amass wealth and not have Uncle Sam try to get in my pocket all the time and take away everything I'm making. You know what I see that is? An open door. It's an open door to talk about the infinite banking concept, an amazing wealth strategy concept where you can do this in a tax-friendly vehicle and achieve wealth even beyond your wildest dreams. But most agencies, most companies have no clue what infinite banking is all about. As an authorized practitioner company, we are the top infinite banking firm out there. And don't let us just tell you that. Let us prove it. We'll show you why we are the #1 infinite banking company out there to work with. So I'm listening for what I call the oh, by the way opportunity. So when somebody is giving me that opportunity, I'm worried about my retirement. I'm worried about this. Or maybe they talk about politics or something. I might say, oh, by the way, I will tell you that those 4 words I've built a career and I've made incredible money in my career. And I have done it based upon 4 words starting almost every open door conversation, which is, oh, by the way. It flows right off the lips. It's easy to say, and it doesn't sound contrived like you thought this thing up. Oh, by the way, this simply means, oh, by the way, have you ever heard of the infinite banking concept? Or, oh, by the way, have you ever heard of becoming your own banker? These are opportunities that you're going to find. You're also going to have that person that is talking about concerns about their 401k and the market risk and stuff. Oh, by the way, have you ever thought about how long your money will last as you get older? Right? So, oh, by the way, is going to open that door very subtly for you. Here's another one for you. Oh, by the way, what's your current plan for retirement? IRA, 401k, so on and so forth. It's a conversation starter. And when you do this conversation, because it's not a presentation, you want to make sure that you are talking 25% of the time and they're talking 75% of the time. Don't even go to 50-50. Most agents make the mistake and they go the other way. They go 75% of the time. And the client or prospect talks 25% of the time. And they walk out of there and they go, wow, you guys seem to know a lot, but what a jerk. He really didn't even listen to what I was saying. Don't make that mistake. So we train agents and we walk through role play and we teach them how to sit down and have that conversation, whether it's a cold call or whether it's somebody that you've known for 20 years. We'll teach you how to have that conversation, have it be an oh, by the way conversation without sounding like a salesman. It really comes down to you and your mentor. So product information should take about 20% of the conversation. So I mentioned you're talking about 25% of the time. So if you had, let's say in an hour conversation, you're opening your mouth 15 minutes out of that hour. So let's talk about the 15 minutes that you're actually talking and words are coming out of your mouth. About 80% of that time should be talking about your mentor. It's called How to Make a Peanut Butter and Jelly Sandwich. So 20% is about the product. Here's the biggest problem that people have. When you're working with a mentor, it's critical you build the mentor up. Because what happens is, in my experience, if the new person or the person that is learning to develop this unique hybrid strategy and build an agency comes in and talks about, they get excited. A lot of times, granted, agents get excited and they'll talk about things like all the benefits of the preferred income account or all the benefits of infinite banking. And they go on and on and on about the benefits of infinite banking. And the client thinks that's great, but you've confused them. And now I want you to meet with my mentor, this guy. And you're going to refer to your mentor as your business partner. The business partner is going to come in there and going to think, why am I talking to this guy? You haven't built that person up. So you need to spend 80% of your time building up the person that they're going to be talking to next. Let that mentor, that business partner, be the one to really lay on the jelly thick. In the beginning, you're just spreading a little jelly on there to give them a taste of it. That's it. Your job is to put that peanut butter on thick. And that is basically your mentor, building up that mentor. So if you think about this, why isn't infinite banking, for instance, known by most people? Well, there are over 1,000 insurance companies out there. So there you have the proverbial needle in a haystack. There's your needle on the right side of the screen. Haystack. So you have a needle buried inside this haystack. Well, most life insurance companies have many different type of policies to promote. The haystack just got bigger. There are currently over 1 million licensed life insurance agents in the United States with a 92% failure ratio. Have you thought about that? Less than 1%, okay? Or let's go even further. Less than 1/10 of 1% of all agents out there are certified infinite banking practitioners. Look at your haystack now. So when you ask the question, or somebody asks you the question, why is infinite banking so unknown by people? You know who does know about it? Wealthy people. You know who does know about it? Corporations. Do you want to know who else knows about it? Every single charter bank in the United States. Who doesn't know about it? Typically people in the life insurance industry and the general public. Same thing can be said for the deferred indexing strategy, preferred lifetime income accounts that we talk about. Again, the needle. There are insurance and financial licensees on every street corner. And that's true. We talked about the seminars. The seminar invites are all over the place. So again, there are a lot of people out there talking about things, but they're not talking about preferred. Preferred is something where only less than a very small percent, about 1% of all advisors are even contracted for preferred. and it'll always be that way because they don't allow you to apply for it. It's something they're going to seek you out. And as a preferred company, we're able to offer that to our advisors and be able to offer you something that you typically can't walk in the door and get on your own, even with a large firm, because they're not preferred. They may have their internal in-house products and services, but they're not preferred. Industry preferred products are reserved for people who are independent, not captive agents. So vast number of licensees are just product sellers. Needle in a haystack. Haystack is getting bigger. Again, we mentioned that of all the licensees in the country, about 1% are actually contracted as preferred. Again, if you work for a large firm, you're not going to be a preferred advisor. You may have their in-house offerings, but that's all you're limited to. As a preferred advisor, you need to be independent. You need to be a non-captive agency, have your own business, but as an affiliate of Hurricane Financial, you're able to partake in the benefits of the preferred. Even though you technically don't have a preferred contract to start out, you're able to work with a mentor who does. Therefore, you can offer something that you really couldn't offer outside of this particular relationship with Hurricane Financial. So as we go through, you're going to find that there's a second step. You've now had that first conversation with a client, and now it's on to the webinar. Now, our company is licensed in over 30 some odd states, and we're adding states all the time. There's a pretty good chance at some point we'll be licensed in every state. And if you're in a state right now where we're not licensed, we'll get licensed. It's not a big deal. But we hold webinars all over the place, and a lot of times we will get a chance at some point to meet people face to face. That webinar meeting is critical. It's basically a handshake between your mentor, and here I am as a speaker talking in the corner. It's an opportunity for me. I've mentored many agents from coast to coast. I've been a business partner for hundreds and hundreds of agents from coast to coast. It's always an opportunity to shake hands with that client right through the computer. They can see me on screen. They can hear what we have to say, and we can walk them through a couple of appointments and a process and show them, go from learning about them to discovery about who we are and what we do to building out a plan that actually works and sounds different from everything else. Our success rate is really unmatched. In the industry, what you find is that the success ratio is about 42%. Our success ratio is over 92%. It's like closer to 95%, which means that we don't leave much on the table. There's not many clients we ever talk with or prospects that don't become clients. Why? Uncommon advice. We do things differently from what's out there in the industry. We'll talk about things like the infinite banking concept, and we'll show you as an agency how you can duplicate this model and create an unmatched success ratio in this industry. And we're going to take people through and show them the mechanics of infinite banking in ways that they never even thought, and we'll make it really, really simple. Okay, we're not just going to show the mechanics and confuse them with stuff, mechanical parts, but we're going to actually show them how this actually works. When it comes to income analysis, and we're talking about market projections versus what we do, I can show somebody a market comparison year by year by year compared to what other advisors offer versus what we do. It's pretty amazing when you can build out tools like this for your clients and you can go through it. You can build detailed, really truly detailed analyses for people where you can get into numbers and be able to show people how guaranteed income is not just something that we talk about, but is a reality. So it's really going to come down to this. We're going to adjust the analysis as we go, and we're going to build out something for them. And so step one is meeting with a client, getting to know them, having the oh, by the way conversation. Step two is going to lead you directly into teeing up a webinar, basically helping set the appointment. So you will go to almost like an administrative role where you're helping establish that time frame for the webinar. So one thing that you're going to do is you're going to go in and say, as a business partner and treat yourself almost like an administrative assistant, for your trainer, I should say, is you're going to go in and coordinate on the calendar, basically set that appointment. Give the client some idea, the prospect some idea what they're in store for. They're going to need to have a computer. They're going to need to have access to the internet. They're going to need to be attentive for 30, 40, 45 minutes, something like that, maybe an hour. And they have to be attentive. And you don't have to be there with them. It's great if you can, but you don't have to be. You can always be involved in this remotely, kind of like your mentor or your business partner is. But the key is you want somebody who really wants to hear this and is planning to be intent. So we're going to look forward here to what's going to go on a little further in phase two. We're going to go to phase two, module one coming up. And we're going to go deeper into things like the infinite banking concept, creating an infinite banking strategy and game plan. And then we're going to show you how what happens with our graduates. The graduates of this training program will also access the uniquely designed employer-employee retirement plans. So we're going to be able to get into showing you how to create liquidity, tax efficiency, and basically how you can help individuals and business owners prosper even far beyond where they are right now. So that's it for this module. I challenge you to come back for phase two, module one, as we get into some deep mechanics in the infinite banking concept.
You've just listened to another independent agent training presentation courtesy of Hurricane Financial Corporation. We hope you found the information contained within to be helpful. For more information or questions, contact Hurricane Financial Corporation at 888-200-8161. Wealth, security, control in the eye of the storm.